And make sure this is working. It doth be working. Thine cheeks are unclapped. Did I not change the fucking thing? I doth not change it. Okay, oops. There we go. Okay. Change that. Done. Okay, cool. Alright, everything's changed. Alright. Let me do this and then we can get started. Alright, there we go. Okay, I have to make sure the stream was set up and ready to go. Okay, so, alright, let me do this and we can get started. Alright, there we go. So, as a lot of people know, I've been meaning to do this video for quite some time. And actually, let me for a moment, because I want to turn off the Streamlabs shit, because I don't want to be hearing that all throughout the fucking video. No offense to people who follow or sub to me. But anyway, so I'm back on topic. This is a video I've been wanting to make for about almost 3-4 weeks now. I wanted to wait until I was done with the content. I had done it a few times and could make a valid judgment on the content as a whole. For those of you who don't play Final Fantasy or new, or maybe some who understand what I'm talking about, I am talking about Delubrum Reginae Savage. And tonight I have two friends with me. One might be leaving soon, but one definitely has a strong opinion on the subject of Delubrum Savage. And I think it is, let's be honest, the entire community in 14 as a whole has had a strong opinion on this content. It is content that, like I said, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to express my feelings about DR, and the other people who are here will also be expressing themselves about DR. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the introductions out of the way for who they are before I undeafen myself. The two people with me are Alice Celiana. Oh, my bad. Oh, I said her name wrong. Celiana. Alice Celiana of Behemoth. She is my machinist. Or we'll just say our physical range. I said machinist. She does not play machinist. She is the physical range in my raid group. The other person joining us is a friend of mine, Mount Duru of, well, he used to be Lamia, but he's Exodus now. And I know pretty much everyone has a strong opinion on this content. Everyone does. Everyone, you know, like whether you've done it or not, you have an opinion on this content as a whole. And it is something that I feel needs to be talked about, and there's really no one talking about it, you know. Everybody, I get it, you know, no ultimate. Everybody wants to just, you know, say fuck it, LOL, AFK till 6.1. Like, and I get that's the overall consensus, but if we don't speak on it, it won't get better. If we don't speak on the things that are wrong with 14, 14 as a game will never grow. I'm not saying bash the game. Let me just put this out right now. This is a disclaimer. I am not saying bash the game. I am not saying shit on anything. I am saying, well, I'm not saying bash the developers. Nothing like that. I am legitimately just saying that as of right now, the content that 14 gives out, there's a huge problem with it. There's a huge problem with the content cycle, and it is something that needs to change as a whole. And you know, I honestly think there's a lot. There's a lot I want to say. Man, and I'll get a chance to say it. I will get a chance to say it. And I'll let but at the same time, I want other opinions that maybe are different from mine, and whatever. So we'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and unmute now so these two can speak.
Right.
Alright, there we go. I've already introduced you to motherfucker. Why is Katsu here? That is somebody I wish I could have here for this conversation, but unfortunately, he bailed on DR before we even got started. And he's the reason you're even in there, dude. So, hey.
True.
But I've already introduced you guys, so don't worry about that. Because I know dude was all scared. Oh my god, people are going to know who I am. If Katsu don't get the fuck out of my face, I might actually fucking kill him. But anyways, okay. So I've already got the disclaimer out. We're not here to bash the developers. We're not here to create a rift between hardcore raiders and casuals. We're here to discuss something that hurt the community, in my opinion. This is my opinion. That hurt the community as a whole. Like, Riku, I'm here to bash the developers. All right, Riku, you can bash the developers. But, so, we'll get started. I'll just kind of, talk for a second. So, as we all know what Delubrum Reginae is. It is and for people who don't know, it is Final Fantasy's attempt at WoW type content. It is a 48-man instance that requires 48 people. This is not something you just queue for and you get randomly queued with 47 other people. This is something that you have to go out, find 48 people who want to do it, which we'll touch on that in and of itself, the stress that brings. But it is a 48-man instance. It is timed, you got 2 hours to kill it or something like that. And it is, my personal opinion of the content is that it was fun. It was fun progging it. I will admit that. I enjoyed it. I know that I have some issues with Delubrum. Like I tell everybody, my brain is literally off until we get to Trinity Avowed. My brain is really off until we get to her. I don't care about the fight. When you're progging, yeah, every boss is something you're super focused on. But you just reach a point where it's like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna turn my brain off. And now that I met her, I'm gonna turn it back on. Your brain is on for her. Your brain is on for Queen. Like those two bosses make your brain you have to think. Every other boss is kind of forgettable, except maybe Minotaurs. But Minotaurs is only memorable because of the ad phase and how many times Silver Gold Moon has killed me. But I won't talk about that. Shout out to Silver, got nothing but love for him. This content was something that when it first came out, I watched the prog. I watched a lot of different people stream it. I watched a lot of, I watched Xeno, I watched Subs, I watched Ren, I watched Mr. Happy, I watched Fia, and I watched them all do the content, and I'm sitting there like, it looks interesting, but it's like, it's not an ultimate. An ultimate, when you see it from like the very first mechanic, I will never forget, I was watching Orza's stream, because I'm pretty sure his group was the first stream group to get to limit cut. And their reactions when they got the limit cut was phenomenal. You really didn't get that with Delubrum. Because it's like every mechanic that was there was something you saw in normal mode. And I think that's the thing. Like, the fact that there's a normal mode for this takes a lot of the suspense out of it. Because like, okay, I've seen these mechanics. Okay, it's just that mechanic only. It's, you have a mind jack now. Oh, it puts a brand on you. So now you have to do some mental gymnastics to figure out how you need to do this to where you need to end at neutral. All of that is cool. All of that is fine. But none of it has the same effect that an ultimate has. I remember watching Mr. Happy when he was progging fucking Uwu. Uwu was a spectacle. And that's the thing about an ultimate. An ultimate is a spectacle that is enjoyed. And like, it shows in the viewership numbers. Final Fantasy has its most viewership in Savage, but definitely when an Ultimate comes out. Because whether you are hardcore, casual, mid-core, no matter what you are, you come out to watch that. because everyone is interested, everyone is invested. Even if you're not in there yourself, you're invested in watching this group of 8 people get the kill. I remember T watching Stall, watching her group, prog that, and it was fun. It was fun to watch them. When they figured out the True Heart, that was great. And I know a lot of people give the True Heart mechanics some shit. I thought it was pretty smart. I thought it was pretty inventive of the development team, and I liked it. DR doesn't give you that. I've done DR, I've cleared it. Should probably be 5 times by now, but we keep memeing. I've cleared DR 3 times. I feel that I have done the content to a point where I can give an honest opinion. As Fox told me, don't make a video on something you haven't done. Well, I'm here to say I've done all 3 Ultimates. I have done Delubrum Savage, and I can say, is it good content? I feel it is. Is it content that is healthy for the future of 14? That's debatable. I know in a stream that I watched, I won't say the streamer's name, but there was a streamer who said, I don't have the exact quote, but they pretty much said that if they were on the development team, they would axe Ultimates, and that Ultimates are something that only a small portion of the community is, but we need more content like Delubrum Savage. I do not think that is true. While Delubrum does, it makes you interact with more people. I think Sphere said it best in his tweet. Delubrum Savage allowed him to meet people he never gets to raid with and never would again. Take that how you will, but he's right. It does kind of bring you together and force you to interact with 47 other people, because it's all of you guys have to get together to do this. But the fact that it took people server transferring, moving data centers to go to Aether to prog this shows the problem with Delubrum. It is content that I feel a smaller portion of the community will get a chance to clear. Maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe there will be, and maybe someday somebody will put the numbers together. How many people have cleared Ultimates versus how many have cleared Delubrum. But I feel that, in all honesty, this content is not what this it's not what the game needs. Like, you can make that argument. Dude, got something you want to say?
So I actually have a point I can throw in on that one.
Go ahead.
One big sentiment I had with Delubrum is that, yeah, it's a huge community-driven piece of content, but it fundamentally feels inorganic. Okay. Because, like you said yourself, people were server transferring, trying to get together to do this. Which I guess is fine, it's one thing. But then, compared to something like Eureka, which was the most organic fun I've had in this game. I still talk to a lot of the friends I made playing Eureka.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that respect, I feel like they tried to capture what Baldesion Arsenal did, but I feel they fundamentally fell short.
I feel the same, because like I said, when I know I've spoken on this quite a few times. When I did Eureka, I jumped on the Eureka train. So I did Eureka when it first came out, and I was like, holy shit, this is grindy. But they eventually got around to fixing it. And the one thing I will say that I remember about Eureka was literally just standing around waiting for mobs to spawn, and just the interaction and shout chat between everybody who was there. There were memes, there were jokes, everybody was having a good time. I felt like that bred better community than being in a Discord call with 47 other people, with the majority of them muted and only 1 or 2 people doing call outs.
And at the end of the day, leaving that with resentment more than anything else.
Yeah, 100%. Because I know, like I said, and I said it when we all sat together and we watched the live letter. And I pointed it out before anybody else could really notice it. When Yoshi had to deliver the news that there would not be an Ultimate, look at that man's face. He did not look at chat. The moment he said it, and the words left, and it popped up on screen so the American audience could read it, he was visibly upset. Because as Roy puts it, we're his kids. And he essentially told us, I know I promised y'all we're going to Disneyland, but we can't now. And I know a lot of people are upset. And, you know, here's the thing. And I know we're going to talk about that. The casual community and the LOL get fucked Raiders. Like, I mean, and you know, hey, they have the right to have that opinion. Like, but it is a very toxic and unwarranted opinion. It really is. Because, you know, like, here's the thing, and we know it to be true, and no one can argue this. And I'll say it to the end of time. The casuals keep the lights on, unfortunately. They are the boat that all the Fantasias, all the, you know, Mog Station items that they buy. These people sink a lot of money into this game. Raiders, we are a small part of the community, but we also have our, you know, look at the community as if, you know, it's a body with organs. You can't say, oh, well, you know, the Raiders aren't important. You know, we don't really need them. Yes, you do. Because the one thing I will say is when an Ultimate comes out, this game gets hella exposure from people like Xeno, Mr. Happy, you know, Drac, you know, well, not that Drac does an Ultimate, but I'm just saying in general, like, these people, Sphere, you know, these people do this content. Not this Sphere streams it, but, you know, he's a part of that. You know, you got Stall and all of them. These people do this content, they stream it, and people from other games. I've had friends who only play WoW who have come into my stream and been like, yo, I don't know what's going on, but it looks nice. And then they want to try 14. Because that's what an Ultimate is. An Ultimate is free publicity. If people don't remember the numbers that we were seeing in T, they were a lot higher than the numbers you were seeing in Delubrum. A lot higher. The world race, not, you know, because let's be honest, was there a world race for Delubrum? Frosty didn't even really cover it. He had it up on the website, but he wasn't really covering it. I mean, let's be honest, it took him like 2-3 weeks to get an interview with the World First Group, and not even all of them showed up. It is content that I feel has a niche audience that it tries to target, because I don't know if it's trying to target hardcore Raiders. I don't know if it's trying to target casuals, because you gotta realize casuals, they can be able to do EX primals. There's no way you can get 48 casuals, one, to coordinate with each other, two, farm the actions that are needed for Delubrum, and then consistently show up. I will say this for the group that I did Delubrum with. Shout out to everybody who showed up consistently. Shout out to all the subs who came through and helped. It wasn't that many. For the most part, the majority of people showed up. And I think that was kind of interesting to see. Like, out of 48 people, we would get, like, for a lot of times, like 30, 35 regulars would show up consistently. Because I think when Cynthia did the thing, there were a lot of people who were there for the entire 7 days of Prague. There were some who were there for 5, and only like literally I can count on one hand the amount of people who were there for fewer than 5 days. So the majority of people were there. So, you know, and I know I'm just going to talk about this really quick. The amount of stress that goes into coordinating 47 people. I could hear it in Silver's voice this past week, just how drained and tired he was, because people last second saying they can't come, so now he has to scramble to find a substitute, and you know he's got to do all this, and then it's just like, okay, well, this person can come, but they haven't seen any of the fight. It's a struggle, because and we talked about it in House of Memes the other night, and I was like, that's what it's like to be a raid leader, dude. Like, Silver had to wrangle 47 idiots. I only have to wrangle 7. It's like you have, 47 people, varying time zones, varying lifestyles, all that. Some people are serious about it, some people aren't. And it's draining, because it's draining for me to do 7 people. So I can only imagine how it was for Silver to have to deal with 47. When I go ahead.
I most certainly believe that could have definitely been handled better. I personally don't play World of Warcraft, so I can't comment too much. But from what I understand, it is the systems they have in place over there are they make that finding the 48 people a lot easier.
Dude,
Because
you
I think
played-
what. Sorry?
No, I was talking to Dude. I think he's played World of Warcraft. But go ahead. My bad, Alice. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I mean, I can jump in after that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what I felt what they were trying to do was the way they set up the party finder to have. No, to essentially support the 48 people you would need to go into Delubrum. I kind of get the feeling they just kind of threw that and figured, hey, look, that'll be enough. When no, it wasn't. Not even remotely.
Dude, as someone who's played WoW, I know Zab like does a lot of hardcore raiding in WoW, but you've played the game a bit. Do you know anything about the raiding? How they handle gathering that many people together?
It's a different culture there. Like they also started with 40 bands,
Okay.
like at the inception, so they've been used to bigger groups a lot longer.
Right.
This is kind of like we're going from, well, the real content in this game, or I shouldn't say real, but the harder content, let's say, is 8-man. So going from 8-man to 48's a substantial jump.
Yes.
And like you said, I can only imagine how Silver must have felt wrangling
Dude,
all
he
of
was
us every
tired.
day.
He was tired, dude. He was like I said, bro. Like he was so drained that the other day when we went in, he was just so tired, dude. It's like, and I could hear it in his voice and like just how he talked, and it's literally just a situation where, like you said, you know, like WoW has had this since the inception, so they're a lot used to. And you know, I watch Method do their World Prog, you know. I watched them do it. I watched them go through that, and it's really fun to watch World Prog and WoW. I don't play the game, but it is really fun to watch. I'm like a WoW person. I'm like, what's his name? What's that WoW streamer whose name I can't think of right now? You know the one I'm talking about. The one that's not a raider but has a huge following.
Asmongold.
Asmongold. Yeah, I'm like Asmongold when he watches 14, dude. I'm amazed, but it's just kind of like, huh, not my cup of tea, but you know what? This is okay. You know, because I know Asmongold has spoken on 14 and all that. He doesn't hate the game. He just feels the community would rip him to shreds, which is a good segue into the next thing I kind of want to talk about. The community's reaction to No Ultimate versus Delubrum. Now, I know a lot of the Raiders, myself included, were very upset at the talks that there would not be an Ultimate. And I know for a fact a good portion of the raid community felt the same way. This was the live letter was actually after Delubrum was killed. Yeah, Delubrum was killed. Yeah, Delubrum was killed, and then we had the little fan fest thing. And you know, you can kind of gauge from the development team, or just from 14 in general, they didn't really care too much about Delubrum, because you know, normally when there's a world race, they reach out on Twitter, congratulate the group, you know, they say something, you know, Yoshi gets on stage if it's really close to a fan fest, he'll say something about it, but there was nothing. Like, world first happened and nothing was said. And I felt like, you know, for their first crack at 48-man content, that's something they should have paid a bit more attention to, and maybe you know, said something to the World First group. Shout out to the World First group though. Like, I'm not taking anything away from them. They worked hard. You know, these people raided 10+ hours a day for 5 days straight to get their content. So shout out to the World First group. You know, fucking Ren, Xeno, Subs, fucking all of them. Shout out to all of them. I you know, because I watched Substream quite a bit when they were progging, and mind you, the majority of what I was seeing sometimes was them sitting in gangos talking, but when they were actually in there progging it was interesting to see. Same thing with Sphere, watching him and Mr. Happy. I'm not taking anything away, because the content in general, the content is fun. It is good content. But what it fails to hit is accessibility, because I don't think it's accessible. Now, a lot of people say, well, people say the same thing about Baldesia and Arsenal. I'm going to say Delubrum Savage is harder than BA, but I don't think it's more fun. I felt like BA was a lot, I don't know. In my opinion, it was a lot better. It was a little bit more, because like, there wasn't a 3 strikes and you're out type thing in BA. If you got hit by something you shouldn't have got hit by, your ass was gone. Period. There was no 3 strikes and you're out. If you were not a tank and you got hit by something you should not get hit by, you were gone. Period. There's no replay. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. You're done. And
There's another point there. I feel one of the biggest difference between BA and Delubrum is when you got into BA, not even clearing it, just getting in there, you feel like you earned it.
Yeah.
Because what went into getting into BA? You had to do all of Animos. You had to suffer through Pagos. You did Pyros.
Oh, God.
And then you had to get a portal.
Oh, the portal drama. Oh my God.
Classic Portal memes.
So when you got into BA and then cleared it, there was a real sense of achievement.
Yeah.
Whereas with Baldesion, sure, Baldesion is much more difficult than Baldesion was.
Oh, DR Savage.
Yeah, DR was more difficult than Baldesion. But when you clear it, it feels a lot more empty.
Yeah, I agree. Like I was hype about the clear, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like, so there's 2 types of hype. There's the hype that I had when we cleared Gaia, and then there's just like, I was hyped when we cleared DR. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. But there's that hype, and then there's me and Ite screaming our heads off when we got that T clear for you guys. Because like, for me, because like I said, I had already killed T when we took you guys through it. But for me, it was like experiencing that hype with my friend, someone who I've known since Heavensward. Finally being able to experience a clear with him, Alice, Fufi, and Cinnamon, that was great. No, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I enjoyed the clear that I got with the 47 other people in the Delubrum. It was still hype, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. And maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just a personal thing. I'm not going to really say much on that. But like, it felt good, but it didn't feel as good, in my opinion, as clearing like an ultimate or clearing a Savage raid tier. I do believe that BA was better. I feel like it was the better content because it wasn't too big. It didn't overstay its welcome. And people just love to do it. Like I remember I'm pretty sure, maybe not right now, but up until this, I'm pretty sure people were still doing BA. And maybe DR will have that same impact. But I don't see DR having the same impact. I just don't, unfortunately. I don't see it being as popular. I don't see it lasting as long. Because one, the amount of people that need to commit to it, right? The amount of people that need to commit to it is insane. You need it because it's not something you can just queue it for. Like, and you look at Baldesia and Arsenal, yeah, someone could be a piece of shit, snipe the portal, and then they can get in, and then they can kind of just run from there. But it's like it also was a collective community effort. But it was like, how many people were max in BA? Was 30?
36.
36? Yeah, I want to say it was 36. As a whole, the content was... I feel like it was just more accessible. I feel like it was just a lot more accessible. Like, I don't feel like you really needed actions to do it. It's like, yeah, you needed, like, the sacks and certain things, but it's like, when I first cleared BA, I had no actions. It was literally a situation where I'm talking to Zhao in the middle of her stream. She's like, Crow, have you cleared BA yet? I said, no. I've been to, I think the boss was AV. The boss with the staff. I think I told her that.
Absolute Virtue.
Yeah, Absolute Virtue, yeah. So I'm like, I've been to AV. And she's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get you an AV prog party. And we go in there and we kill the entire thing. Because they were that serious about it. Like, we got past AV and fucking Zhao's like, okay, we can kill this. And they just talked us through it. I was a nervous fucking wreck. And that's one thing I want to talk about, the difference between BA and fucking Delubrum. If you died on Ozma, that was it. If they couldn't res you, in 9 times out of 10, no healer was going to res you. If you died in Ozma, 10 times out of 10, no one was resing you. It just was not happening. you were not getting rest. If you died in Ozma, you were just done. You had to pray someone could get you up before he does Black Hole. Because guess what? You're dead, he does Black Hole, you get sucked out. You don't get the rewards when he's killed. That gave a little extra oomph to play perfect right there for everybody. In Delubrum, you can be on the ground and fucking when it's killed, you still get the shit. Like, I mean, hell, literally, our entire alliance was dead except for me, Vic, and Felix. We were the only 3 alive, you know, at the end on our kill. You know, and I feel like that's another thing that kind of took the hype out of it. It's just like, it's like, yeah, people don't need to die, you know, having the person with the buff helps. But it's just like, it did not have the same, I don't feel it had the same danger that BA had. Because one, if you wiped in BA, well, you gotta wait for the instance to respawn. You gotta do the portal bullshit again. So that's like, what, an hour of waiting in between runs? Whereas this is something where you wiped. Okay, cool. Let's back out, talk about it, queue back up. Boom, we're back in here. And it's literally just one of those situations where I feel like BA, there was more at stake than there is in Delubrum. Does any of you guys agree with that, or?
100%.
Yeah, no complaints.
Yep. And so now that brings us to what the meat of this is about. Because I know it may not necessarily be as cut and dry as Delubrum cost us an Ultimate. It may not be as cut and, like I said, we understand coronavirus was a thing. COVID was a thing last year. It is still a thing now. It is still impacting our lives. I'm not shitting on the developers. I'm not saying that they were wrong in what they did. I'm saying that there was a lack of transparency throughout all of this. And my biggest gripe is, I know Yoshi said that they tried. They tried to work overtime and tried their best to get it done. But Yoshi, y'all told us a long ass time ago it was ready. It was ready. You just had to go through the testing.
You were telling us in 5.2 it was basically done.
Yeah. It's you said it's done. We're just going through the last little bit of cleaning it up. And then you come out, you know, a month ago and say, well, it's about 70% done. So you mean, so back in 5.2, you mean tell me you completely lied to us? Like, you just point blank told a lie to our faces.
Important note is that 5.2 was before COVID.
That is true. That is true.
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought of that.
And it's just, yeah, that was right. Yeah, that was a little bit before COVID became a big thing. That was when COVID was still so fear mongering, like telling us it's gonna kill the world. Okay, it wasn't that serious, but yeah, this is when COVID was still like just a thing only in China. This was before it spread to the other parts of the world. So I will say I do blame the development team for the lack of transparency and just being upfront and honest with the player base. But at the same time, us being upset is not something for the casual community to laugh at. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when fucking Ishgard housing got delayed, I didn't laugh mostly because I didn't care. It was just kind of what the fuck ever. But I know a lot of the casual community, anything that happens in the casual community, they get upset and they are very vocal. But if there's something that happens and Raiders are upset, it's like we're not allowed to be vocal. We're not allowed to be upset about anything, and I don't like that. We can be upset, we can be disappointed, just like you guys can. Like, I know a lot of casual people who are upset that it took them so long to get Lightning's outfit on the Mog Station. I know a lot of casual players that are upset about the event items that come out in China before they come out in the rest of the parts of the world on the Mog Station. Like, you know, these are things that I could laugh at because in my mind it's stupid. Why are you upset about a goddamn Mog Station item? Why are you upset about you know, something that in the grand scheme that I feel is very minuscule? But when I'm upset that, you know, I progged this tier, I week one this tier with my group, a group of people that I enjoy playing with, and the thing that pushed us was knowing when we're done with this, when we're done farming, there is an ultimate waiting for us at the finish. That is going to be the content that we're going to do until the next expansion comes out. And now you mean to tell me that content is gone? It won't be here until literally 2022. Let that sink in. We will not see an ultimate. It will literally be 2 years without an ultimate. Let that sink in. We already had the 9-month wait between, or the damn near year wait between Eden's Verse and Eden's Promise. Again, COVID affected that. I know. I fully understand. And do I believe that Yoshi is telling the truth when he said they worked their ass off to get it out? I want to say yes. I want to say I believe him in saying that they worked as much as they were allowed to get that, to try to get the content out. But at that point, I'm gonna be honest with you, when they delayed it, they shouldn't have even given us a name. They shouldn't have said, they should have just said Ultimate is delayed and went through the reasons why. Because now I know what the Ultimate is. I know it's the Dragon Song War. You know, you put it out there. I mean, you know, you confirm the suspicions. But now it's like you're teasing us for the next year. That, you know, hey, here's this content is here. It's being developed, but it's not ready. It's like there's a reason you don't announce an expansion a year in advance. You know, there's a reason there's just certain things you don't do. It's like we don't know when the expansion's coming out until like maybe like what, 9 months before it's time for it to drop, something like this, somewhere in the 9-month range. But now we have to wait an entire year before we can see this. There won't be any screenshots. There's no screenshots. There's no trailer. There's no gameplay. Nothing. We have to just wait and see. So now we're going to go through the next couple of months waiting on the expansion, and we're going to do the expansion. Then we're going to have to, and now you know that brings on a whole new plethora of problems, because now the fight has to be rebalanced by the team, because now it has to be rebalanced for level 90. It has to be rebalanced for the stat squish. These are all things that the team now has to go back and do double their work. Everything has to be rebalanced around skills that are getting removed, skills that are getting added. So it's just adding more work onto the team. Is that Square Enix's fault, or is that the development team's fault? I don't know. Go ahead, Alex.
Not to mention, it's kind of hard to not feel like a bit of an afterthought. You know, when we were in that call watching the live letter together, getting all hype over the new expansion, the stuff to look forward to in 0.5.
Yeah.
You know, that was cool. We had a really good time. But at the end of the day, it just kind of felt like, by the way, the thing you're looking forward to is not happening.
Yeah, 100%.
And it just kind of, I feel like it mired everything else that happened at the same time. Like, I barely remember a lot of the stuff they spoke about
Same.
the next expansion.
Yeah,
just
same.
what stuck to me was
Sage,
no ultimate.
Yep, it'll say no ultimate. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of healers were hype about. I know Dude, aka Sage man, by the way, Dude was hype about Sage, but it's like all that hype that built up got brought down, and you know, it's kind of what, because normally they do the live letter involved with like the fan fest, but this time it was spaced, and that was really weird to me until we got the announcement that there would be no ultimate, and that's when it all made sense. They gave us that high, they let us ride it for 2 hours, and then they let us ride for like 2-3 hours, and then they brought us down with the talk that there would be no ultimate. And you know, it is what it is. Like I said, at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do. We're not getting an ultimate. We had one ultimate this expansion, and it was a good ultimate. Don't get me wrong. Great ultimate. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed when I originally progged it, and I enjoyed reprogging it. And you know, I enjoyed watching a lot of my friends prog ultimates. You know, and it's something that I enjoy watching. I enjoy sitting in streams, communicating, you know, and you know, trying to help. If there's like, okay, cool, this is how you fuck this up. This is how you mess this up. And you know, Ultimate, as I feel like Ultimate is a bigger community builder than Delubrum, and I'm going to tell you why. On Primal, we have something called UPR. It is a Discord that originally started out with Edmund Cho and just a few friends to try to clear him through fucking Ukab. But then UPR became something more. It is a community. Yes, Ite, you are the first. It became a community of over 200-300 players who do ultimate. They help people get their first clears, and like I'll ask Ed, can I leave a link to UPR's Discord in the bottom of this video? But UPR became a solid community of people just trying to help. It's like I see a lot of people in there that otherwise would not raid with each other, and I've met some good people out of there. Fucking Bebe, fucking My, Battle Litany, you know, me and Ed are cool now. Like, it's that community grew from a flower into a fucking large, intimidating tree of life. And the amount of clears that they get in there is phenomenal. These people set up parties. They will, anytime, I remember, you know, at one point I'm looking at UPR, I got 50 something pings because people are pinging for Uwu Prague, Uwu reclears, UCOB Prague, UCOB reclears. And then they cleared T through UPR. And now there are T clear parties and reclear parties, and they get these clears. You probably won't get it in the first one. Some people are lucky and they get it. It's like, well, I've seen this much of the fight. Okay, cool. People set aside 3 hours to prog someone through it. Some people, you know, be at fucking Quick March prog, and by the end of that 3 hours, they're like ads in Rage or something like that. You know, you have people like Soviet in there helping people, setting up parties. This, in my opinion, is a bigger collection of the community than DR can ever hope to be. Because at the end of the day, here's what I know about DR. This upcoming week, regardless of whether we do 5 clears or not, everybody's done. Regardless of whether we get 5 clears or not, everybody's done. We have 2 more days this week. Whereas with Ultimate, I could plug into an Ultimate anytime. I get pinged, like, you know, Soviet, you know, we joke, but if Soviet actually asked me, yo, Crow, you want to do this UCOB? I'll join and help. Hell, that's how I got in there. Soviet asking me, Crow, you want to do this UCOB? And, you know, that's the thing about Ultimates. Like, you meet a lot of people, whether they're good players or bad players. I can respect someone who tries. And I know that, like I said, that streamer said that they feel that Ultimate is not as important to the game. I'm going to say that streamer was 100% wrong. Ultimates are very important because they have longevity. It's like, yeah, a group might not clear an ultimate when it first comes out, but as long as that group has determination, they can go back. You know, once a little bit better gear comes out, you get a little extra 5 item levels, things get a little bit easier, new pots come out, new food come out, things get a little bit easier. But that's just it. Like, there are a lot of triple legends these days. There are a lot of double legends. There are a lot more single legends. And I know a lot of people, especially in my old FC, that there are a lot of people who feel that, well, now the achievement is cheapened. I don't think it's cheapened. I think, like with any set of content, especially when you look at MMOs, as time goes on, it gets easier. There's more information out. You look at the difference between UCOB and T. UCOB was the very first ultimate, and it was a brutal gauntlet to prog and clear. It still is kind of brutal. It's not as hard, don't get me wrong, it's not as hard as it was on release, but it is still difficult. And it is content that needs to be respected. And I also think the stat squish is them trying to make you feel accomplished when you clear that content now, you know. But that's a story for another day. Ultimates are needed. I've met a lot of players doing ultimate. Hell, that's how I met, you know, that's how I met Duwu, is Ite gathering, I met Duwu through Ite and them doing Uwu, doing an ultimate together. But like, it's allowed me to meet a bunch of people who, after raiding with me, like, you know, I like Crow, I like his group, I'd like to join permanently. You know, a lot of people, that was kind of, you know, that's how we got Alice. Alice helped us prog fucking UCOB, and after UCOB, she was like, I know you're looking for physical range, I'm willing to stay. Boom. I got my physical range. You know, that's how we met Raina. Raina joined us for T-Prog, and we cleared it with him. And Raina sends me a message like a couple weeks later, once he figured out his school shit. Crow, I want to stay in murder. That's how I've met these people. That's how I met Cinnamon, And, I've met a lot of people that, I always say my raid group isn't a group, it's my family. And that's the way I feel. I've met people who are my family. Now, I don't have the same one-on-one interaction between that and a group of 47 other people. I don't get that same interaction. Like, yeah, when we moved down to group 2 and we're doing Golden Side, yeah, we crack jokes. But, it's like, we crack jokes for like 5 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes, and then we're back up the main group, and everybody's muted but Caro and like Caro Silver and Django. And it's like, the Ultimates breed community, I will say that, and UPR is proof of that. UPR is proof that this game needs Ultimate, and for that streamer to say this game flat out does not need Ultimate is like the biggest, I don't even know what word I want to use, but it is the biggest, I'm just going to speak my mind, it is the biggest load of bullshit I have ever heard. Ultimates are the lifeblood of this game, because guess what, when everybody's farmed up in Savage, what do? Anybody want to do an Ultimate? Sure, why not? We got nothing else to do. While we're waiting on things, now mind you, there, I know the casuals will say, just uninstall, unsub until there's content. I love this game. 14 is a game that I love, and for people who want to laugh and whatever, like, sure, go ahead. But this game has allowed me to meet people that I'm going to know for the rest of my sad, miserable ass life. I have met friends, I have met partners and things of that nature, people that I love from the depths of my heart through this game. It's not just as simple as unsub until there's content. This is a game that, I don't play 14 every day. I've reached a point where I raid log now. I spend my time doing other things, playing Witcher 3, playing NBA 2K like a normal everyday black person. I am getting back to my African roots and screaming expletives into a microphone when I get dunked on by LeBron James. But this game is a game that I love. I have met people from Subs and Alice to Ite, Roy, James. These are all people I consider my friends. These are people that have helped me out when I was at rock bottom. Gwen, and I'm not gonna list everybody, but a lot of people have helped me when I was at rock bottom, both financially and mentally. And without this game, without Savage, without Ultimate, I wouldn't know these people, because I doubt I would get the same one-on-one with them if there were 40 something other people to also interact with. I doubt I would have the same one-on-one interaction that I have with Alice. I doubt I would have the same one-on-one interaction that I have with Subs or Riku or, the other people that I have met. Final Fantasy is a community-driven game. I will 100% say that, and I 100% agree with it. But that community isn't just casuals. That community isn't just the RPers. That community is everybody. And it reaches a point where people need to stop with the finger pointing over who's toxic, because I'm gonna be honest, both communities are toxic. The casuals, the hardcore, everybody has a toxic portion of their community. But as a hardcore raider, I will 100% say this, and I know a lot of people won't agree with it, but boy, that casual community is a hell of a lot more toxic. They will shit on anyone and anything. They feel like you can't help them become better players. There's all these excuses, but again, I'm not here to drive a rift between casual and hardcore, because at the end of the day, we all play the same game. All I'm saying is that when no Ultimate was announced, the reaction that came from the casual community, cry, stay mad, LOL, all the shit I saw on Twitter, of just everyone shitting on Raiders for being upset and thinking that, oh well, COVID is a thing. You're talking down to the developers. We're not, though. We're just stating that, we're disappointed. At least that was me. I was just stating I'm disappointed.
That was a very important thing to touch on, because what I've gotten more than anything else is people would just automatically construe, hey, look, I'm angry, to mean I'm angry at the developers.
Yeah,
No, you can be angry at a situation without taking it out on any one person.
true, 100%, 100% true. I think people took our disappointment as, oh, they're shitting on the developers, they're shitting on the people who create this game, and it's not that. It's not that at all. Like we're upset, we're disappointed, and we wanted more. Am I sad that we didn't get an ultimate? Yes, I am very sad. I am very upset. I'm upset because it's something I was very much looking forward to doing with my group. And I know Duru was really excited for Ultimate that he would get a chance to do at release on content. While he's not gonna world race, anything like that. It's just like he wanted that experience, and like he's still gonna get it. But it's like now he has to wait a year for that experience because progging an Ultimate on release is one of the greatest experiences you can ever have. Because 9 times out of 10, there's really no streams to watch. You're just kind of going in, you're blindly doing it, unless you're like a casual group, that goes in like maybe 3 times a week, in which case, you have plenty of time to watch it, to watch the content and just kind of soak up information. But progging an Ultimate on release is the greatest thing. Like I said, when T came out, I progged all 3 Ultimates on release. I progged all 3. And killing T before the turn of the year, because I don't remember when T dropped. I know, I don't remember when T dropped, but it was like October. Oh, well, that was when the patch dropped. T actually dropped in November.
Yeah, it was in November.
Yeah, because Subs joined the group in October. She joined us. That was when she joined us. It was 4T. Yeah, so it was in October, and T dropped in November. And we cleared December 23rd. That was our last raid day before we disappeared for the Christmas for Christmas. And the hype that was in that call when we killed it, because it's literally our last pull. It's the last pull of the night. Everybody's like super quiet, super focused. We get to perfect. I almost throw it by not having on my tank stance. But we get through it. We kill it, and just like a weight was lifted off our shoulders. Like, that was to my knowledge, that was a lot of people's first time clearing an Ultimate on content. It was Sub's first Ultimate, period. That was her very first Ultimate kill, was T. And I think for a lot of people, it was like, okay, the first Ultimate kill on content, this feels good. And to, like I said, we're gonna have it. At the end of the day, we're gonna get an Ultimate where we're going to get a chance to prog it. And we're going to get a chance to experience that again. But it's just, I know like the majority of my group, we enjoyed Savage. We enjoyed it. But everyone was just like, Savage is cool and all, but we want that Ultimate. We want that Dragon Song War, because we knew what it was going to be. That was what everybody was excited for. We built the group, we cleared, we farmed our gear, and it's like, okay, cool. This is the end result. And now it's gone. And it hurts. And I know that a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people were happy. It's just like, why would you be happy in the suffering of others? And it's just like, why? That's the thing that's wrong with this community.
Because it doesn't affect them.
Exactly.
Well, I think you brought up earlier, well, this might have been before you streamed this, but Roy had said that it's good that everybody has some content to do. People on the mid to higher end essentially get thrown a bone 3 times in expansion, supposedly 2 times with ultimates, which we only got 1 this expansion. And people don't seem to understand that the likelihood of them giving us 3 next expansion is
very low.
Next expansion, that's almost non-existent.
Yep, it's very low. I doubt we get 3 ultimates. Like 100%. I 100% doubt we get 3 ultimates. Like, if they're this far behind in the development cycle, unless the moment Dragon Song War is done, they immediately start development in the next one, and then when that one is done, they immediately, I don't see them doing that. So effectively, over the course of this game, we've effectively lost an ultimate. And again, we understand there were circumstances that had caused this. Corona was a thing. And at the end of the day, I want to believe, and I'm going to say I do believe, that the development team did everything within their power to get this content done, and it just did not happen. Do I think that the Ultimate should have been pushed out at the cost of the expansion? No, not at all. I'm not one of those people, because I know a lot of people are going to make the argument, well, if they delayed the Ultimate, if they went ahead with the Ultimate, then we would suffer with the expansion being late. I mean, the expansion's already going to be late, but I wouldn't want it any later. If the expansion has the release schedule that I hope it has, then we essentially avoid any more December raid tiers, which was very stressful this past year, and because just wondering when it was going to drop. It needed to be early December, for the love of God, not late, and it was early December. But I don't want them to push that line anymore. I'm okay with a raid tier dropping in November. I'm okay with that. I don't see my family on Thanksgiving anyway. I hate all of them. Christmas, I kind of got to go out and mingle with them. But if I don't want another December raid tier, that is the one thing I 100% want to avoid. I want to avoid a December raid tier, because that is stressful on me. It is stressful on my raid members. It's stressful on a lot of groups. It's just like, well, fuck, dude, the holidays are coming up. I want to spend time with my family. Well, too bad. The week before or the week of Christmas, I gotta do a fucking Final Fantasy raid tier. If you don't understand how serious raiders take this content, let me. I probably can't find the tweet, but Sendoff, I think it was Sendoff. Sendoff put out a tweet after he killed T, and he's like, "I'm so happy we killed it, because if we didn't, I would have had to message my mom, because I think his mom was flying into town to either do something work related or see him. But for him to have to tell his mom, I have to cancel plans with you because I have to finish progging this content." You can say, what a loser. That's not him being a loser. That's him having dedication to 7 other people that, like, yo, this means a lot to me. This means a lot to you guys. Let's get this done. I'm glad he killed it. I'm glad he was able to spend time with his mom. I'm glad he was able to see his family. But, like, that's it. Some people may say, well, it's an easy choice. Your family over a video game. That's true. I do agree. Your real life should always be over a video game. But the amount of disappointment that would have been there if they don't kill it, and he has to tell his mom, like, yo, I can't see you because we're still doing this. You know, some people's parents understand that, you know, this is important to him. I know my mom and my father, before he passed, he understood what this game meant to me. He knew the people I met. He knew the friends I have made in this game. And these are things that 14 mean, like I said, 14 means a lot to people. Like I said, you meet people that you love, you meet people that you hate. At the end of the day, hopefully you walk away with more people that you love than hate. But Ultimate is needed. It is an integral part of this community now. From UCOB to T, like these, a lot of people may say, well, a small portion of the community has done it. Not according to UPR. You know how many times I see first clear photos in that goddamn channel? A lot. A lot of people get their first. Ite got his first UCOB and Uwu kills in UPR. This is a fact of the matter within the game. And like I said, Ultimate is needed. Savage is needed. Does Delubrum Savage does it have a place within the 14 content cycle? Yes, it does. Do I think, again, it's just my opinion, do I think it is worth losing an Ultimate over? 100% I don't. I do not think Delubrum is worth losing an Ultimate over. Because I know a lot of people that aren't even going to attempt Delubrum. They don't care. It's just like, fuck it.
So that's a super important point, I feel. So when the community was getting angry at the hardcore crowd saying, you know, hey, you're only 1 to 10% of the player base, why should everyone have to keel over for you? But that's something that I feel it's never really considered. They always look at clear rates for ultimates. They say, oh, you know, hey, only 3%, 5% of people have cleared ultimate. But they don't consider the amount of people who try.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't matter if you fail. Did you have fun along the way? Because at the end of the day, a shiny weapon is a shiny weapon in a video game. Who cares?
Exactly.
What stays with you is the memories you've made, the fun you've had. And that's something you can't just slap a number on.
That's true. Like I said, I've met a lot of good people doing this, you know. Like I've met people that, you know, I'm gonna, like I said earlier, I'm gonna know for the rest of my life. These are people I'm always gonna interact with. These are people I'm always going to know. And it sucks because now, you know, like, you know, bright side is it gives people a chance to clear the old ultimates. You know, now people who are wanted, like I said, you look at Duel and them, you know, they're gonna clear T soon. You know, we're gonna take Katsu through T, and then we're gonna do the other ultimates. You know, you're gonna, you know, do the other ultimates for Cinnamon. I'll see y'all in chat soon. You guys will clear soon, I promise. But no, like, just the fact that, you know, yeah, this gives you more time to do the things you want to do. Ultimate is something that, like I said, you look at it, it brought Makoto out of retirement. Delubrum is going to do that. And like Alice said, you know, people are going to attempt ultimates because now they have a little bit more time. You know, ultimates is something that anyone can attempt. Katsu's not going to attempt Delubrum Savage. I don't even think Nan's going to attempt it. Soma doesn't give a flying fuck. She was like down to do it, but I don't think she's gonna care to do it now. It's just a lot of people, like, out of the majority of raiders that I personally know, the only ones who like were actively trying to do Delubrum was Subs. Subs was like I said, you know, Subs did the whole transfer to Aether thing to prog it. Do I think it's worth that? No. Mind you, it is 100% her decision to make. She made the decision, and she does not regret it. At the end of the day, she had fun. That is what matters. Personally, is it something I would have done? No. I would not have uprooted everything, transferred servers to quote-unquote World Prog of 48-man Savage. And, yeah, see, look, now it's like, personally, I'm not interested in Savage and Boja, just not my type of content. And it's like not everyone's gonna, but the majority of players, even if they're casual, they're gonna attempt an ultimate at least once. I don't see a lot of people even attempting DR. It's like, yeah, we got those kills, and you know, everybody wants to keep going because everybody wants to, at least a lot of people want to get to 5. But there were a few people, there were like a handful of people who were like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. A lot of the people, I know Duwu is one of them, are staying to do DR because other friends are there. Like Duwu just point blank said it, when you and Alice are done, I'm done.
Pretty much, yeah.
Luckily for him, everybody's done. Luckily for him, everybody's done after Saturday. Like, even if we get 2 clears on Friday, I still want to go Saturday so I can do the 1v1. Hopefully that goes well.
I question the longevity of DR. Even
Sure.
BA, it's kind of like, I still see some Discord still running it, but I mean, you've said before, like, Ultimates, I mean, just due to how they are, you can never unsync them. They're never going away. They're always relevant.
Yep.
So they're always a goal that someone can at least try to reach.
Exactly.
It's just, I don't know.
Because I know Koichi and them attempted Ukab recently. I'm not sure if they're still in there trying to clear it. But it's just like, it's something, hold on, let me read this comment. The way Mia put it when I was talking to him today is that DR Savage feels like it's more connection based than BA, but maybe because it's so early. So I will say, I feel like I said, we touched on this earlier, and I said I feel like BA had the better community because it was like a collective effort of everyone shit posting. I'm gonna be honest, you don't get the same amount of shit posting in the Bojan Southern Front. People go in, they cluster farm, they get the fuck out. Like when you were in Eureka, you made connections, you met people, you talk. Like even me, I'm like the biggest fucking loner, and that is when I kind of broke out of this shell of sitting alone, being quiet, blah blah blah. Am I saying do no content like Eureka? No, we need that type of content. That content is needed for the community as a whole. It is 100%. Like she was said, BA had more community. It forced people to work together. Everyone had, like I said, yeah, you see like a couple of groups of 8 not helping spawn the mob, but then you saw more people trying to spawn it than not spawning. You saw. Go ahead.
You had like, you had your 20 people who would sit on the sidelines and just use the cheer emote, but you still had 120 other people who were running the train.
That is true.
And I feel like Baja doesn't have any of that. In Eureka, you joined in. First thing you said was, elemental level, whatever, looking for group.
Yep.
And you would get picked up and you would be with that group for the next 3 hours until you left the instance.
Yeah.
In Baja, you'll say, hey, I got into this critical engagement, if you get in, mind you. And then you'll just say in Sage Chat looking for a group, and then as soon as the critical engagement's done, you leave and no one speaks to each other again.
Yep.
And so it feels like single player content with just the veneer of, hey, you're here with other people. And that's it just doesn't have it doesn't stick with you like Eureka did.
I really thought Eureka was decent content. Like, it's just I enjoyed Eureka. It felt more fleshed out. One, the area was a lot more larger than the area we get now. Sojan Brother front, Boja Southern Front feels really tiny in comparison to like even Animos. Animos felt massive.
We got 4 zones.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we just got this one. But there's something to the south, I think, of the Southern Front. Because if it's just this one area, then this content, in my opinion, failed. If it's just this one.
We're getting one more area, I believe.
Okay. If we get one more area, then that's fine. But you gotta look at Eureka. We got 4, man. We got 4, and they were with the exception of what was the second one?
Pagos.
Yeah, fuck Pagos. Pagos was awful. Like the Pagos grind was so fucking frustrating. And I think Pagos was that when they finally introduced those fucking sleeping dragons.
Yep.
Yeah, that also made it really just the amount of time I got bought by a dragon was actually fucking tilting.
But I will ask you this one thing though. Do you remember progressing through Baja?
No.
Because I sure as hell don't.
I don't remember shit.
And in Eureka, even in Pagos, as bad of a rap as it had, when you reached the top of that mountain, how did you feel? When you finally, snuck your way through the dragons, when you finally hit level 21 or whatever, and you're able to Metal Gear your way up to the top and hit that aetherite. How did you feel?
Scary. That shit was scary, but I was like, oh my god, thank you. It felt great. I remember that actually, like, it sends you through that Death Valley to complete the final quest. I remember that. I enjoyed that. I have a lot of good memories from Eureka. From all of them. As bad as Pagos was, I have a lot of good. I remember just sitting in Discord with Koichi's old LC, with Sailor and them, and we're doing, we're just doing, we're in there, we're doing shit, we're farming, and we're farming like whatever, doing fate trains and all that, fighting Lohi, all of these things. And it's like, that's the thing about Lohi. Everyone got to fight Lohi. Everyone got to fight Pazuzu. It wasn't hey, here's this really cool thing, but only 30 of you get to do it. Only 40 of you get to do it. I don't think DR Savage will have the same longevity that that BA had. I don't think it will have an impact on 14 the way Ultimate has. And as Raiders, like I said, we're allowed to be upset. We're allowed to feel down about it, and we're you know, we're allowed emotions. Like if the casual community can be upset about fucking no hats on Rothgars or bunnies, like to me that's fucking stupid. If you guys can be upset about that, I can be upset that I've went 2 years without a piece of content that was promised to me. Am I gonna send death threats to the development team? No, that's too much. There are some people out there that do some nutty ass shit like that, and those people, yeah, fuck them. You shouldn't be sending death threats to anyone because we didn't get content. But are we allowed to be angry? 100% we are. So we'll be finishing this up here within the next 10 minutes, but I just wanted to just really touch on a lot of the things that people seem to misconstrue, that Raiders are blaming the development team. We're not. You know, we're upset, we're sad, but you know, we have every right to be. Just like you guys could be upset that head pieces can't be on your Vieras, I could be upset that this fucking 16-17 minute fight that I was looking forward to progging with 7 of my friends is no longer going to be a possibility. And if your answer to that is LOL just unsub, then you're a part of the problem. Do I think people should take a break from 14? Yes, 100% you should take a break from 14, dude. It's unhealthy to sink everything into this game. I would never recommend anyone sink everything into this game. But I will, like I said earlier, this game has allowed me to meet people that I'm going to know for the rest of my life. People that I consider family, people I consider friends. You know, and I've got to meet these people. And this game is very much important to me. And it's something I wish I had a reason to log on to every day. But like, you know, when they release new maps, I don't shit on casuals. Like, oh God, more maps. You know, when they release fucking new mini games in the Gold Saucer, I'm not up in arms. I'm not, you know, just shitting on people. And you know, every community for every game. Before we even start this, I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, WoW's community's not this toxic." Stop it. Stop it. Every game has a toxic community, no matter how big or how small. Persona has a toxic community. Pokemon, as someone who played VGC for years, trust me, it has a very toxic community. Smash, won't speak too much on that community, but we all know the drama they went through last year. There's good parts of a community and there's bad parts of a community. The good needs to outshine the bad, and not as Raiders, not as hardcore casual, as people who play this game, who love it, we need to stop the barriers, the bridges, the rifts between communities needs to stop. Because here's the thing, casuals can bitch, but it's just like, hey, who sells you guys content? I was gonna put it out there. Who's running this content because, you know, Robert don't want to put forth the time and the effort, but you know what Robert will do? He'll throw his wallet at it. Robert will pay $300 to get a shiny weapon in game. And you know what? I respect Robert for that. Do what you need to do, homie. It's like, you know, he's like, either he doesn't want to kill it or he doesn't have the time. Either one can be a possibility. But in his mind, he's like, I want that weapon. Well, guess what? Robert's only option is to, this group says they will do it. Okay, what is the price? Insert price. Okay, cool. And you can sit up there and say, RMT, yeah, miss me with that shit. RMT is a thing in every game. It's a thing in WoW. It's a thing in Final Fantasy. It's a thing in every MMO. It's a thing in fucking Pokemon, alright? People will buy fucking Pokemon off of eBay or what the fuck ever. Like, just PK Hex that shit. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap things up here shortly, but just like, let's stop shitting on one community or another. Animal Crossing had RMT? How?
Oh yeah, there is.
They probably want specific villagers.
How does that even
There's
work?
that. There's also like people hire the people to like decorate their island for them, stuff like that.
That's fucking stupid. Okay, alright, whatever. I'm gonna just let that one go. You could trade villagers? Yo, that's stupid. Okay, alright. Animal Crossing has RMT. It's good to know. But, like I said, like, we need the casual community as Raiders too. If they don't have their Fantasia addictions, if they don't buy all the bullshit off the Monk Station, if they don't subscribe to this game every single day to do fucking dailies, the lights wouldn't be on and we wouldn't have raid content. But at the same time, if we weren't advertising this game, putting it out there into the world, bringing in new players to be hardcore or casual, the game also would not thrive. Because while Xeno gets viewers, while Mr. Happy gets viewers, none of them get the viewership that they do when they do an ultimate. And you will not tell me otherwise. You will not tell me otherwise.
Also, like, just another small point that I believe was in the stream you were referring to earlier, Crow.
Yeah.
When you more casual folks out there are doing content, are doing an extreme, or learning a job for the first time, who do you think wrote that guide you're reading?
Good point.
I'll do you one more. Who do you think goes in and helps those runs?
Yep.
Exactly.
The late clears. If like all the people that have nothing to do now just unsub, people that are still trying to do Emerald Weapon, for example, they might be in there quite a bit longer.
There you go. I think overall, like 14 is a game that's going to thrive. This setback will not kill the game. Is it going to make it a little bit harder to do things like what we're trying to do and recruit a healer? Possibly. But at the end of the day, like Soma said, it's a break we get to have, We get to have a break. We get to do other things in the meantime. Like I said, I've been playing Witcher 3. I've been playing other shit. Been playing games on my Switch. I'm going to cut into my backlog throughout all of this. I'm going to cut through my backlog of games and, play a lot of shit that I've been meaning to play. Like I said, my Steam library is fucking massive. Like over fucking like $4 or $5 grand in games that I have not played, and that's small time compared to a lot of the other people I know. But all in all, every community has its place. The casual community, we need them. We need the casual community. We need the hardcore community. We need both, because this game, if there's no hardcore content, then trust me, Final Fantasy will die off if there's no content that the hardcore people can play and enjoy. And at the same time, if there's not enough stuff for the casuals to do, the game will die off. There's a balance. This is an ecosystem, and there is a balance. There is give and take. To quote Full Metal Alchemist, equivalent exchange. If you want something of equal or greater value must be lost. Well, we want the expansion. Well, we lost an ultimate. It sucks. We're allowed to be disappointed. We're allowed to be upset. You do not, as a casual or anyone, have the right to shit on us for being upset. So, with that being said, like the overall point, was Delubrum worth losing ultimate? It was not. Is it decent content that I feel people should at least try? Yes, I'm not gonna shit on Delubrum. I quite enjoyed progging it for the most part. It was not the same feeling as progging a Savage or as progging an Ultimate, but it did have its moments in prog where I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. And like I said, it lacked a lot. It had a few things, but I feel like what it brought to the table does not outweigh what it is lacking. And all in all, is DR fun content? For the most part, yeah. Again, not worth losing an ultimate. Not at all worth losing an ultimate. And I know a lot of people, I've spoken to a lot of friends, a lot of people who are in both the casual and hardcore communities, and they're you know, a lot of people are upset. I know a lot of my casual friends were like, you know, hey, you know, they were sincere, like, yo, Crow, I'm sorry that, you know, you guys won't get to prog the Ultimate. I know you were looking forward to it. It's fun to watch you guys prog. It's fun to watch you guys do these things. And, you know, for the casuals, I just want to touch on this real quick before we end. The casuals love watching us do this. They love coming out in drones to watch us prog these fights that they feel that they'll never get to clear. Again, an Ultimate, and I'll say this before we end, an Ultimate is not about being good. It's what is your determination? How much time do you want to sink into it? That's what it's about. I don't clear an Ultimate because I'm a god tier player. Exactly. Shira said it best. Perseverance. Can you persevere through the walls you're going to hit in an Ultimate? People with weak mental are just going to quit. But at least they tried it. But then you have the people with mental like Duwu and, you know, the guys in that group where they hit a wall. Yeah, it's frustrating. They get angry. They get upset. But they keep pushing. There were times in our original T-Prog and, you know, I was a rage monster. I roasted our warrior on stream for throwing a clear pool by just doing something dumb. You know, it's those moments that, you know, I didn't have in Delubrum. You can say, well, maybe that's a good thing. On one hand, yeah, I didn't have to rip anyone a new asshole. I probably want to rip some people, some assholes in Delubrum every now and then, but, you know, when you get past that wall, the first time we got past Wormhole clean, hype. The first time I have to find a clip, I'm pretty sure there's a clip of the first time we saw Perfect, and like the smile on Subs' face, it's something you don't get. You don't get that in a Delubrum. I'm sorry. You don't get that in a Delubrum. The screams of joy when you kill it. Yeah, we have some people hype about Delubrum, but it's not the same. It's not the same, okay? It's not, and I will, you know, I can play the contrast between let's just use I want to do this real quick before we go off. I'm not going to show the video because I don't feel like going through all the jank bullshit to show it. But like, let's just listen to the hype of us killing Gaia. All right, let's. I'll fast forward through the video. Let's listen to the hype of us killing Gaia.
All right, that's the last one. Big damage. Everyone damage. LB one when you can. There's full damage right here. All damage. All damage. Don't stop.
Please. Die, you stupid bitch! Die! Yes! Fuck yes! Yes! Fuck yes! Fuck yes! Die, you stupid bitch!
Okay.
Get lit in 20.
God damn it, thank you! Get the fuck out of here! I can go the fuck back! Yeah, God damn!
Okay, me and Ite extra as fuck. Me and Ite extra as fuck. And then this was us killing DR, which was still hype. Oh, wrong fight. That is Stiggy Glyph.
Stinky Moloch.
Stiggy Moloch, yes.
Lions
let's see.
My group can LB. My group can LB.
LB3 now.
LB.
LB if you have it.
Use all your mitigation. Might as well.
Mitigate everything. Yep.
Let's go, boys. Let's
Come on.
Come on, let's fucking go!
Yo,
Let's
the chicken mini.
The big boy fucking
Yo, that was some clean cats, dude.
7 days.
Chicken minis, dude. Chicken minis did this for us, dude. Chicken minis, dude. Everybody's going to Chick-fil-A tomorrow morning, dude. Everybody's going to Chick-fil-A, dude. Everybody's going to Chick-fil-A, dude. Chick-fil-A's about to get some sales tomorrow morning, dude. Let's go, man.
Okay, I fucking love that. The chicken minis. Like, that was hype. That was hype on both sides. But, like, the hype in that Gaia clear was really It was really okay. Ite tells me to play the hype from the reprog of T. All right, I think that one's really fucking loud. I think that one's really fucking loud. Hold on. Let's see, where is it? There it is.
Nice.
Let's fucking go. Come on. Everything you got. Everything you got.
We got it this time.
Everything you got. Let's go.
Let's go, boys.
Let me get off the last
Get the fuck Ite's hype, I have to say. Ite's hype is real. That I love Froggy with that man just because his hype is so phenomenal. I enjoy that. I enjoy Proggy with Ite. That's my boy. I got nothing but love for him. But though that's the hype you can really only get with an ultimate, you know. You don't really get that with, you know, with Delubrum. I'm pretty sure some people are hype. You know, some people are reserved. Maybe some people are just like, you know, I don't want to, you know, hear a whole Discord of 40-something people screaming. So a lot of people are probably reserved. But that's just it. In a group of 8, I don't go fuck. I'm going to blow everybody's eardrums out on our first kill. Like, miss me with that. I'm going to be hype. All right? I'm going to scream. I'm going to yell. I'm going to wild the fuck out. And again, like I said, I just don't feel like you get that same level of love when it comes to Delubrum. But again, Delubrum has its place. Ultimate has its place. I'm not shitting on the content. I'm not saying that the content is dog shit and no one should attempt it. I'm saying that personally, having done Ultimate, Savage, and Delubrum could have been a pass. If it came down to a point where they said, we can either do Delubrum, Savage, or get the Ultimate out, they should have went with the Ultimate. You could have still done Delubrum Normal. Delubrum Normal could have still been there, but the Savage could have either not existed or it could have waited. Dude, if it came down to where that was the decision they had to make, they made the wrong decision. And people can either agree with me or disagree. You are welcome to. If you're watching this on YouTube, you are welcome to write down in the comments why you disagree. But on that note, if Alice or do have anything left to add before we sign off for tonight?
For the love of God, please just listen to each other. Everything can just not be toxic if people just listen to each other.
That's true.
I don't have much to add. I feel like you've kind of reached everything I wanted to say.
Yep. And like I said, you know, at the end of the day, let's not fucking create rifts. Let's just bridge the two communities. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we need each other. Like, no community is fine with no community is fine without the other. Without the Raiders, the game wouldn't get the exposure that it gets. Without the casuals, we wouldn't, you know, who would fund this? You know, it's that kind of thing. And I will say this, I feel like the WoW community kind of accepts that amongst each other. I believe the casuals know they need the hardcore, and the hardcore know they need the casual. You know, but, you know, again, instructions unclear. I got banned for putting up an RPPF. Oh, Cara, thanks for the follow, man. But yeah, like Alice said, let's communicate. Let's be good to each other. Let's not be toxic. Because at the end of the day, this is a game that we all play because we love this game. At least me. I play this game because I love it. Like I said, I've met people in this game, for good or for bad, for better or for worse. I've met people, you know. Hell, I got like 4 exes through this game, bro. Trust me, this game is good. All right, this game has been good to me. I've met a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of everything, you know. So, on that note, we're going to go ahead and get out of here because I know dude wants to go to sleep. He got stuff to do tomorrow, and I'm probably gonna fucking find something to eat and play Witcher 3. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Fucking yo, I know you did not just drop your Twitch. Alright, say less, whatever. I'm gonna let you have that one. Yo, Crow, we need to reprog something at some point. For sure. Sell out stream. No, I ain't sold out yet. Hold on, I ain't sold out. You better not leave. None of you better not leave. You better not leave, and you better not have no ad blocker. Fucking Ite instantly hits the buy. Alright, let me go. I hate him. I hate y'all so much. But yeah, on that note, I'm finna go ahead and get up out of here. Let me find somebody to host real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. Let me find somebody. I know Ren. I think my bot has hosted Ren like 4 times today. And if I throw him another one, I'm gonna be like, God damn it, Crow. You just want to keep seeing yourself up there on the host. You know what? He's right. I do. I want to keep seeing my name up there. Let me see. Is Ren even streaming? He is. The good sir is streaming. So I'm going to throw you guys over to the Ren Karagani. Please go show him some love. What is he even doing right now? Let's see. Looks like he's doing PF stuff. Come say hi. Alright. So I'm gonna throw you guys over there to Ren. I appreciate everybody for coming out. I hope that this video is probably gonna get hate. It might get some love. I don't know. We'll see. But I just felt like it's something that had to be talked about. It's something that had to be said. And like no one was talking about it. No one was having a conversation about it. And it is something that the community as a whole needs to sit down and talk about. So, but alright, on that note, I am going to toss you guys over to the Ren Karagani, and I will see everybody later once I find my goddamn raid button. Okay, and then I'm gonna type in Ren. And God damn it, he just started streaming. So like, oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. All right, there we go. All right. So I'm gonna throw you guys over to Ren. I appreciate everybody for coming out, having inputs and all that good shit. I will be back probably not until Friday where we do more Delubrum. I don't fucking know. We'll see. But yeah, I'll be back on Friday. Appreciate everyone for coming out. Thank you for watching. Good night.